Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the show. I am Fontaine the Titan, king of account setups, master of trading psychology. And we about to get into the reasons what Kobe Bryant, how he has influenced me and continue the late great Kobe Bryant, how he has continued to influence me in a whole nother aspect that people wouldn't even imagine that, has nothing to do with, basketball or sports, right? And so, as they say, ball is life. Everything is the market. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been diving deep into so much psychology stuff, really, like all my life, right? Like you got books like the Kabbalion. This is something you got to get into. This is the seven universal laws. We got Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. We got what else we got? We got Karma, what it is, what it isn't, why it matters, and why these books matter is because this is a part of becoming into the mindset of being a trader, right? That's what it really comes down to. And the Mamba mentality that has been given to us by Kobe Bryant fits right into what you should be doing as a trader, right? And a lot of people don't even understand what the Mamba mentality is because you got Kobe haters out here. I'm not gonna act like it ain't no Kobe haters out here. You know what I'm saying? And to each his own. You like, what I'm saying, who you like in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But the mentality is the most important part of what I want to convey, because the key is that it took so much for him to become who he was. And a lot of people could have been super duper great, but they didn't have that mentality, you know? And it's a certain type of mentality that you gotta have in order to be a trader too. But we go get into what is this Mamba mentality, right? What is this Mamba mentality? You know, the Mamba mentality is this. It's when the discipline becomes the edge. All right. It is the relentless pursuit of mastery. Right. So the core principle, as Kobe Bryant described, the Mamba mentality as the constant pursuit of improvement through discipline, focus, preparation, and relentless work ethic, and becoming better every single day, regardless of pressure, setbacks, or emotional discomfort. It is built on preparation. The Mamba mentality focuses heavily on preparation because confidence is strongest when earned through repetition and practice. Motivation will fade, but structured discipline endures. And when this is applied to trading, the market rewards the discipline. Execution just feels like elite performance rewards this elite performance rewards disciplined preparation. Consistency and emotional control matter far more than temporary excitement or impulsive decisions. You have to understand that greatness comes from small, repeated actions performed consistently over time. And the market arena operates by this same law. That's what you gotta understand. That's the first thing that you gotta understand in this game, y'all. These are the first things you gotta understand in this game. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to put in the practice. That is some of the most. Let me explain this to y'all. Right, this is some of the most important work that you actually really gonna have to put in, and that is the practice. That is the practice, right? That is the practice. A lot of y'all don't realize how much y'all really gonna have to practice in order to really be good at this. It's not a strategy that can save you. And I got the best strategy in the world. I got the best strategy in the world to literally give you the move every single time. But if your hand's shaking and your shoulders tense and you got all type of thoughts running through your head, you're going to fail. It don't matter whose system you're trying to run. It don't matter what you do. You are not going to be a successful trader if you cannot maintain emotional control in this game. And that takes practice. That is the biggest part that takes the most practice. That's what y'all got to understand, right? Most of y'all don't get it because that's why people quit. They don't want to go and conquer that part of the game. They don't want to go and see that part of the game when they really got to face themselves and ask themselves, why am I making the same mistakes? Why do I keep doing the same things over and over again? You're thinking something wrong with your brain. It's not nothing wrong with your brain. It's just the way that you have been wired and programmed all of your life to react and respond in a certain type of way. And so now you got to reprogram all of that. And that does not happen over time. You know, how old are you? You know, you got to ask yourself, how long have you been doing the same habits of you being who you are? You know, and when you start to figure out that it's a part of a program that you can change, but it takes practice, that's when you can start to become a great trader. That's when you can start getting over humps, you know? But you go keep beating your head up against the wall if you're not practicing, y'all. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to put in that work, y'all. You got to put in the work, you know? But let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it. You got to be obsessed over this, you know? You got to be obsessed over this. Obsession with improvement, right? Average effort creates average results. Okay, so the Kobe blueprint. Kobe became legendary not by outworking others on game day, but by mastering details others ignored in practice. Footwork, repetition, conditioning, mental preparation, and relentless study of his own weaknesses were daily obsessions. And so, as a trader, the trader's parallel in trading improvement comes from studying your mistakes, reviewing charts with intention, journaling every session, and refining your execution repeatedly. Most traders want success emotionally. Few become obsessed with mastering the process itself. You gotta be obsessed with really, really changing yourself. If you're not obsessed with changing yourself, you're not going to be good at this. It is a process and it's so simple and it's so easy, but anybody can really do it, but everybody can't do it because it's a hurdle that you got to get over. And most people walk away before they want to actually conquer that, right? Consistent improvement compounds over time, just like disciplined trading habits and repeatable edge. The market punishes laziness because emotional hope cannot replace preparation, right? And it's discipline over emotion. It's discipline over emotion, right? Your feelings cannot lead the process. The Mamba mentality is rooted in executing your plan regardless of the emotional mood, fatigue, or discomfort. And that some discipline separates professional traders from emotional reactive ones, right? And so these are the main fears that you are going to have. These are the main fears that you're going to have. The main emotions you're going to have is fear, greed, frustration, and impatience, right? And when you are in fear, right, you're going to be freezing when it's time to get in, right? Creating hesitation, and that's going to cause you to exit the trades early, right? Exit winning positions too early. Greed, right? And this is the what part that get a lot of people, you know, going back in there trying to get some more. And greed pushes traders to overtrade, ignore targets, and abandon structured risk management. And frustration leads to revenge trading and destroyed discipline after a string of losses. Impatience, it forces low quality setups and breaks rules built to protect you, right? And this is so super important. All of this is super important because your emotions are in general going to lead the way because your subconscious mind is going to control everything that you do. Your subconscious mind is controlling everything that you do. Your subconscious mind is programmed in three ways. All right? Through repetition, trauma, and symbols. And so what happens is that you don't realize that you've been programmed to have certain emotions and certain things in your life that you done been through. And you got to be real with yourself because that's what you go in there and trade. That's what you're going into the market and trading. You trading your emotions. You trading your fears. You trading the light bill. You trading the gas bill. You know, you trading your worries about what's going to happen here or there, right? You're not trading the market. And even if you think that you done let those things go when you come to sit down and trade, you really have not. And that's the reason why you still jumpy. That's the reason why you can't focus. Because you still got other stuff going on in the back of your mind that ain't got nothing to do with trading. That's really holding you down emotionally. And you have to really take the next step to really confront that. You know, it can't be no emotion in this game. It's kind of like when Kobe was in the Olympics and they was going up against Spain. And he was like, Paul Gasol, my brother, but I'ma lay his ass down and y'all go know that this is the gold medal game. This shit real. Ain't no friends, ain't nothing. That's my brother, but fuck him. We coming to get this shit. You know? He taught everybody that was on that team in the NBA great now because they learned something from Kobe Bryant. They learned a thing or two about practice and about really pushing yourself and really being the best that you could be, you know? And you can get into the market and think that you can jump in and out and act be all crazy in there. Go ahead, be my guest. All you're gonna do is just frustrate yourself and continue to lose. It's specific strategies out here that allow you to be able to trade with confidence. But you gotta get your emotions together first because guess what? You will fuck those up too. If you're not emotionally in control, you'll fuck up the easiest shit. Be right there in front of your face. You know? I want y'all to understand that trading is easy, but it's a goddamn challenge. It's a goddamn challenge. Trading is a challenge. It is going to test you in every single way that imaginable that you probably haven't even thought of being tested. And that's why most people quit. Most people quit not because they ain't making no money, because they can't handle the taking a loss, right? And imagine Kobe Bryant when he had lost to the Boston that first time, right? And you know how hard he ended up going the next season. You know, had to redeem those losses. He ended up winning back to back. You know, like it's a certain mentality that you got to have when it comes to trading. And one of the things that you really, really, really go have to practice is meditation. You really go have to practice meditation. If you're not meditating and being able to calm your inner self, if you're not meditating and being able to visualize yourself executing your strategy in a high proficient level, right? If you can't imagine these things, you're not going to be able to do them in real time when it matters. You go fumble the bag every single time, you know? So you got to be able to be willing to face that, be willing to face those challenges of asking yourself why you keep making the same mistakes, because it ain't the market. The market not tricking you out. The market got like 5 moves. The market like Tecmo Super Bowl back in the day. You remember Tecmo Super Bowl? They got the 4 pass plays at the top, got the 4 run plays at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's a 1 in 8 chance that you'll be right and be able to sack their play, right? Boom. If it's 3rd and 19, you know it's got to pass. So that break it down to 1 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a numbers game. You got to play the probabilities, okay? And that's all it really is. It's just the probabilities game. And you got to understand, sometimes you go be on the opposite side of that probability. Sometimes, you know, hey, you just might be wrong. And it's okay. You could be wrong in this game. You just can't get your feelings hurt. And you can't go back in there trying to be mad and thinking you go get their ass back. Because it ain't no getting their ass back. If you go in there trying to get their ass back, they go get your ass again and again and again. You're not gonna be successful. You gotta focus on the process. You gotta stay. It's kind of like, so this is what trading is kind of like, right? It takes a whole lot of patience, and it takes like a bit of like a short-term memory, long-term memory type of thing. So it's like if you left your phone charger downstairs, and then you go downstairs to get it, and then you go back upstairs, and then you ain't got it, right? How many times you able to do that shit, but it ain't no consequence, you know? But in trading, it's a consequence to forgetting little bullshit, you know? It's a consequence to forgetting that it got to retest the 200. Your ass go get knocked the fuck up out of that trade. Bam, stop, fail. Right up out of there, you know? And the thing about it is that you got control over it. Once you understand the game and you know how the market move, MACD go give you the arrow. It's gonna tell you a green arrow go print for you to buy, a red arrow go print for you to sell. Flip over to your top step screen, hit the corresponding button. Simple as that. Easy peasy. That's all you gotta do. But is you gonna be shaking with your mouse in the hand? You know, is you gonna be jumping in and out 1,000 times? Blow your account, and then 15 minutes later it go take off on you. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't have the calm. You got to be able to breathe. You got to be able to breathe through this, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? The Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality, y'all. You know? Y'all got to get with it. Kobe the Bean Bryant. The late, great Kobe Bean Bryant. You know? You got to understand that repetition builds confidence, y'all. Repetition builds confidence. And that's a big thing for y'all to really, really understand, because I understand that a lot of y'all ain't never traded before. I understand a lot of y'all ain't never traded before. And hey, look, real talk, real talk. You know, it's more people who don't know about trading than anything else in the world, I believe. You know, as the market continues to go up, make all-time highs, makes its peaks and its valleys, we make money whether the market going up or going down. But at the same time, nobody knows. Nobody knows the infrastructure of how this works. Nobody has an idea on that you could just come in, get in position, let it ride all day, and be profitable more often than not, you know, being right 3-4 times a week, running the same play, you know. A lot of people don't really understand that. A lot of people ain't never can't grasp that concept because they've been programmed and trained in a different type of way. If you've been programmed and trained to go to work, if you've been programmed and trained to not look at opportunities in the way that you're supposed to look at opportunities, you know, like, cause you really got to practice this. I'ma be straight up. You have to practice, and y'all are lazy as hell. I know y'all ain't practicing. That's why y'all be wanting to quit, because y'all ain't practicing at all. And y'all getting up, jumping in the market. Market ain't even had your laptop open 10, 15 minutes. Hitting buy sell, ain't putting out no trend line, ain't checked the higher time frame, you ain't did a goddamn thing. And you ain't meditated, you ain't did shit, and then you talking about the market tricked me out. No, you tricked your goddamn self out. Meditate before you go to sleep, before you even have an idea of waking up to get in the market. You should be going to sleep with that cool, calm, peaceful, serene, you know, serenity, where it's at. You know, understand these universal laws. Understand how the law of vibration. You got to bring in the vibration of calmness. How you think Kobe out there want to take the game winner? He wouldn't even pass to nobody, and his reasoning was that I see how much they practice, and therefore I don't trust them with that shot. I'm willing to take the shot because I know that I practice 10, 20 this shot all the goddamn time. And so if I miss it, then it's because I just missed. Fuck it. But it ain't gonna be through lack of preparation. You know, you got to keep in mind somebody like Steph Curry. Steph Curry shooting 1,000 shots in practice, 1,000 threes in practice, so he can shoot 40% in the game. And we'll say that's good. We'll say that that's great because it's unprecedented. You know, so don't think you're supposed to have a 100% win rate. You know, that's already out the door. Before you even sit down to trade, get out your mind that you're gonna be never lose. Losing is a part of this game. You win by creating your edge. You create your edge through practice. You create your practice through disciplined training, meditation, back testing the market, back testing your strategy, seeing it happen over and over and over and over. And once you see it so many times, then your body is going to start saying, hey, this is our move. Your intuition going to start kicking in. This looks so familiar, I can do it now. But people be expecting to be an expert in this shit in 2.5 weeks and ain't got no goddamn computer skills. You don't even know how to scroll up, scroll down. You know, you don't even know how to share a screen with me. You know, like these is prerequisites of things that you gotta do before you even think about coming to trade. Learn how to actually work a laptop, learn how to work a computer, learn how to do a little bit of these technical things, you know, so that you could be able to get the help that you need when it's time to get that help. Because if you don't know how to share your screen, how I'm gonna be able to help you, you know? But that's the point. You got to be willing to put in the work. You got to be willing to practice. You got to be willing to sacrifice going out to the club. You got to be willing to sacrifice hanging with your mans and them. You got to be willing to sacrifice shit, probably getting overtime at your job so you can put more time into the market, right? Because that transition from working to being a day trader, it's a transition, and a lot of people can't just quit their job, you know? And I understand that. And that's the point of me being real with y'all and letting y'all know. Like, that's how it has to go sometime. But you have to sacrifice something on one end in order for you to be able to get in that practice time. You got to be able to sacrifice something so you can get in that practice time. If you're not practicing, you already losing the game. And I'm not just talking about practicing the charts. You got to practice meditation. You got to practice being in a higher vibration, right? And you got to constantly keep pushing that new higher self up out of you. Let that new you speak for you. Let that old you die. Let that old you get in the back seat. Let that old you get in the trunk. You know? Let the new you do the driving. Drive yourself to success through practice. Because you gotta practice this. Your visual cortex, your whole cerebral understanding of how things work. Your reticular activating system is going to start to allow you to see it more often. Then after that, then you got to trust it. Now, after you do all that, now you got to trust it. And everything is a process. Once you understand that that is a part of the process, and it's a different amount of time for everybody. It's a different amount of time for everybody. Don't let nobody come in here and try to tell you, oh, you could be a day trader in a week and a half, 2 weeks, a month. Don't let nobody come in here and tell you, oh, yeah, in 3 months I'll have you together. You can if you can give them the signals, right? If you can kind of teach them what's going on and get them the signals, then they got a chance to be successful off of your signals. And that's why signals groups are, successful. You know what I'm saying? But my strategy, give out the signal for you, you know? red arrow, boop, green arrow, boop, in real time. You gotta trust it. You just gotta trust it. And eventually, once you start trusting it, you'll start winning. You will start winning. Even if you don't know what else is going on in the market, you will be able to be successful off of this strategy. You know? You ain't got to be able to, you don't have to put it in the trend line. You ain't got to do shit. All you got to do is just wait for that arrow to print out and put in your goddamn play. And I guarantee you it'll still fuck it up. Because it's a lot more to it than that as well. You know? It is still a lot more to it because you still got to practice. You still got to be available. You still got to be mentally in the game. You still got to know when to get out. You still got to know how to set your target. You still got to have a proper risk reward ratio. You still got to have these things in place. Proper stop loss placement. These things are important. Knowing how much you're risking. And it takes a while for you to get used to this, y'all. It's not nothing that because everybody's threshold for how much they willing to risk is different. Once you find out that 20 points in one ES contract, you can get $1,000, you're like, oh shit. All right, bet. Yeah, but guess what? That means going the opposite way. Going the opposite way, at 5 points, you lose $500. Right? And so are you willing to lose that much? Because the market will move at 100 points at a time, 200 points at a time. You can spread that out. Get you some micro contracts. Let it ride out. Get 40, 50 points. Still get that same 1,000. But don't have to risk so much at one time. But it's a science to learning all of this. It's a science to the mathematics. You got to be able to practice the mathematics of the game so you can find out the mathematics that's comfortable for you. Because you might only be comfortable trading 3 MESs at a time. Right? Getting $400, $300 and being good. But you feel great because you only done risked $100. $125. That might be better off for you. Everybody got their thresholds of what make their heart beat in the market. And if you feel like your heart beating in the market, then you're probably risking too much. You're probably scared. Lower your risk. Don't scare the hell out of yourself out of the market. You know? So that's really the gist of it. But you gotta practice these things. And you got to find out what works for you and then keep on practicing that. It's okay to be a one-trick pony. You know? If your strategy not working this week, then guess what? It's probably because the market consolidating. Don't abandon your strategy. Go back and look and see what the hell was going on. That's why you go and back test at the end of the week. Every single week. You look at the full structure of the market. You don't just look at it day by day. You look at the full structure of the market. Go back and look at what's going on the past couple of weeks. It could be angling the whole way. You know, I show you exactly where to put those trend lines at. I show you exactly where to put those price levels at. The market repeats itself. All you got to do is just have enough repetition to be able to see how much it repeats itself. I just sit up here watching it go all day. Boop, 30-minute chart, bounce off the 200, turn around. Come back next day, boop, bounce off the 200, turn back on around. Come back next day, come back, bounce off the 200, boop, turn right back on around. The market go keep on doing what the fuck it's doing until it decides to do something else. When you know that the market makes the same moves over and over again, all you got to do is get in position. And once you're able to understand where that position needs to be, you're able to have a successful trade. And boom, the indicators are there to help you. They're to help you confirm the exact position of what you already see that's going on. That's all they're doing. Once you understand market structure and you understand how they're actually moving around, you're going to rarely get in out of position. You're going to more than likely be getting into a winning trade every single time, and you're not going to end up with a whole lot of big losses. And That's really the name of the game. It's just have bigger losses or more, I mean, bigger wins and smaller losses somewhere along the way, right? Bigger wins, smaller losses. You do not have to trade all day, every day. That's another misconception. You got some people out here got you thinking that you got to be out here doing 100, 200 goddamn trades. That shit is crazy. If I try, man, my heart would be like this, beating out my chest. I try to take a goddamn 50, 100 goddamn trades. You crazy? Shit. But if they mentality is built for that, who's to say? Some people scalp like that. You know, it's all different strategies to be able to trade now. Don't think that one strategy is above all. One strategy is not above all. Every strategy has its percentage of working, and they all work in certain conditions. And damn near no strategy works in consolidation. So what the fuck you gonna do anyway? Nah. How about that? Your strategy ain't working. It's probably a consolidating market anyway. Wait until it's a trending market, then come back in and try your strategy once again. Simple as that. Don't lose your shit in the consolidating market. It's just small rules to the game. Once you understand the rules to the game, then all you got to do is mentally be ready. Practice so you can start to be able to see it. Once you're able to see it, you will not go be able to unsee it. It's just whether or not you can execute, you know? But yeah, this was a PDF for the Mamba Mentality that, I do for the classes, you know? Workshops are available, links in the description. You got to understand that mental toughness under pressure is what it's all about, y'all. Mental toughness under pressure. All right? The emotional trader panics during volatility, abandons rules when losses accumulate, allows uncertainty to override structure, and reacts to noise instead of responding to signals. A disciplined trader trusts the structure when conditions are chaotic, remains composed when markets move violently, and uses preparation as an anchor when emotion surges. They seize pressure as the proof of practice. All right? Mental toughness is not a personality trait. It is a skill developed through repeated discomfort, honest accountability, and accumulated experience. High pressure market conditions expose emotional strengths and weaknesses quickly. The market rewards traders who stay emotionally balanced when conditions turn chaotic. All right? And sacrifice and delayed gratification. This is important, y'all. This is important, y'all. You got to understand that greatness costs something. You got to be willing to give up something. You got to be willing to give up something. I don't think y'all get it. I don't think y'all get it. You really have to be willing to give up something to be successful here. The market not go give it to you if you ain't gave nothing up. And you gonna have to give up your time. And then you're going to have to realize that time don't exist in the market. But you're going to have to give up that time that you think is so valuable. Something that you think is important, you're going to have to give it up. I got workshops Sundays at 1 p.m. Somebody go ask me, why you have it during football season? Like, motherfucker, if you can't, excuse my language, but if you can't give up a half of football to learn something new, then this ain't for you. I'm going to be having workshops 8 p.m. starting July the 12th. Saturday nights. That's you goddamn right, Saturday night. Want to know why? Because you're going to have to sacrifice going out to the club. If you want this, you gonna have to make the sacrifice of not going to the club. You're not gonna be able to bounce it, shake it if you want this. You're gonna have to calm that shit down and learn something and focus and practice. You ain't gonna be able to be out there doing whatever, making it rain with whatever little dollars that you got, trying to show off, knowing that your rent due. You know, who you trying to impress? That's what you gotta ask yourself when you're doing all these things out here in the world. Who are you really trying to impress? Huh? Because all it is just instant gratification. It's fake happiness. That's really what it is. But if you come to this market, you will really see that it's so much greener on this side of the game. It's so much greener on this side of the game. But if you want this, you got to sacrifice something. You're going to have to be able to put that time into practice. A lot of y'all don't realize how much time, how much practice you really got to put in. They say it takes 10,000 hours in order to be considered as a master or something, right? And so ask yourself, how many hours are you actually putting into the charts? How many hours are you actually putting into the meditations? How many hours are you actually putting into journaling? How many hours are you really putting into the game? Because if you're not doing all of these things, then you're not putting in the time. And you're not going to get nowhere. You got to make that sacrifice. You got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to take it to the next steps for your own personal self. You know? For your own personal self. Right? Greatness costs something. The Mamba Mentality requires sacrificing comfort, distraction, sleep, and temporary pleasure to achieve mastery. There were no shortcuts, only the long, deliberate path. Trading success demands the same cost. Sacrificing impulsiveness, emotional trading, and unrealistic expectations, and the need for instant gratification. And many traders destroy their consistency by chasing fast results emotionally. The strongest growth almost always happens when comfort zones are challenged with intention. Discipline today creates freedom and opportunity later. And so that's what you need to understand. It's like you gotta be consistent in order to be disciplined, but you can't be disciplined unless you are consistent, and everything goes hand in hand, right? And delayed gratification is a competitive advantage. While others chase quick wins, disciplined traders are compounding skill and edge quietly. All you gotta do is just wait on it. That's all you gotta do. It's gonna tell you the story right in front of your face. You gotta study the game, y'all. You gotta study the game. It's gonna tell you right in front of your face. Remember, knowledge creates awareness. Okay? Study the opponent. Kobe studied opponents' tendencies, their footwork, and decision patterns to anticipate their moves before they made them. You got to study the market. Great traders study structure, candlestick behavior, momentum shifts, and emotional crowd psychology, not just price alone. Right? You got to review and reflect. You got to journal your entries. If you're taking too many trades, you ain't go journal them. Trust me, I know you got to get out of bad habits. You know, once you able to take yourself out of bad habits, you will see the success so clearly. Right? And journaling your trade reviews expose emotional mistakes, right? And your repeated errors and gaps in execution that real-time trading masks, right? It's so much practice to this. So much development. You got to develop awareness, right? The knowledge reduces emotional uncertainty. And the deeper traders understand market behavior, the more clearly the market communicates its intent. right? You got to know that there is a spiritual side of this Mamba mentality, right? That's why I say meditation and visualization. You got to quiet the noise before every session, y'all. Use visualization to rehearse disciplined execution and calm responses to adverse conditions. You got to be able to sit through it, sit on your hands, whatever it takes. Right? The spiritual side of the Mamba mentality, mastering the inner world. Spiritually, Mamba mentality reflects self mastery, the deliberate cultivation of focus, clarity, and inner discipline. The external results are merely a reflection of what was built internally first. Ego, fear, and emotional attachment are the greatest threats to a trader's growth. I'll repeat that. Ego, fear, and emotional attachment are the greatest threats to a trader's growth. Confronting those honestly through meditation, visualization, and self reflection is not optional. It's the foundation. It's the foundation, y'all. The psychology, and that's why I tell y'all. That's why I tell y'all. That's why I tell y'all all the time that trading psychology is not is more than just trading psychology. It's just is life psychology. A lot of this stuff is things that we should have learned when we was younger, things that we should have learned when we was kids, back when we was playing hopscotch and playing Nintendo and, doing other little bullshit. Like, we should have been learning to meditate. We should have been learning how to be still. We should have been learning stillness. All we've been taught to worry about growing up is to worry about bills. We see our parents worried about bills, you know? I mean, look at the people around you. Look at the people in your neighborhoods. Is it really people that you really look up to? Ask yourself who you really looked up to in the neighborhood that was on some real positive shit. No, and that's why everybody looked up to Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show. Then all that shit happened. everybody look up to comedians and rappers. I used to be a rapper. Shit. A lot of people used to be rappers. The rap game ain't paying no more. The rap game ain't what it used to be. You can't get it how we used to get it. You can't get out there and just press up those CDs and put them in the trunk of your own goddamn car and pull up on people and be like, hey, this me. Listen to it right now. That shit live. Go ahead, bump this. Get you $10, $20 off the tops. You can't travel city to city with a trunk of records in your car no more. Because records don't exist. They done eliminated that out the game. So now you got to depend on them for digital assets from your from the so-called views that they got to tell you that you getting. If they fuck around and tell you that you ain't got no views, then what the fuck you gonna do? If ain't nobody listening to your shit, how the fuck you supposed to know? They control the algorithm. They control the whole shit. So how the fuck is you supposed to even know? Like, the whole game is rigged anyway, so you might as well learn how to extract out of it in a legal way. They made it perfectly legal for us to get in there, extract this money up out, and while every other industry is shutting down, while they stopping making cars, trying to switch it. We going for electric. Oh, we going to gas. Oh, we laying off. We replacing with robotics. What you gonna do then? It's time to learn something new, y'all, and put in that practice, put in that work. If you ain't into this day trading game by now, then I understand you probably just don't know about it, And a lot of people, even though they may think they know about it, they really, really are intimidated by this shit. Y'all intimidated by this shit. I gotta keep it real. Y'all intimidated by this shit because I know y'all ain't putting in the work to learn the basics of what it needs to even put in the steps to be a part of it. You can't even use a mouse. We gotta, us 80s babies, us 70s babies, us 90s babies that grew up with the pen and the paper. Look, the market ain't moving like that no more. They used to write it down on pen and paper. That ain't the way no more. Now everything is through technology. And all you need to know is just a little bit. You don't need to know a whole lot of it. All you really need to know is just a little bit of this technology. You don't need to be able to build a whole goddamn coded computer. You don't have to be able to do none of that shit. You just need to know a little bit. And then after that, learn the system and then learn the song. Ride that 13. Boom. Ride that 13. We got a whole song for the strategy, y'all. We got a whole song for the strategy. Y'all know what the 13 is? It's the 13 EMA. Ride that 13. Boom. Ride that 13. Stay in that trade, y'all. Know the signals to be able to get in and get out. You know, pause. Pause. Just gonna say that too. Ride that 13. Pause. Listen, y'all. Trading is not as hard as you think it is, but it's damn sure a challenge. And you got to be willing to accept that challenge. That's what the Mamba Mentality was all about. You go back and look at his interviews. All of his interviews, he say the same thing. It's all about accepting the challenge. And this is the same challenge here. This is the challenge of knowing thyself. I challenge any spiritual person. Anybody who claim that they spiritual, anybody that claim that they own love and light and all of that cool shit, I challenge y'all to come to the market. And I guarantee you, all of those things that you think you are will be challenged. They will be challenged. All that patience that you think you got, it will be challenged. Can you accept the challenge? Can you accept the challenge? You know? And for all y'all think that y'all badass, that y'all stone face, poker face, nothing can shake you, triple thug, Compton Mafia. I don't know, I'm just talking shit, but you know what I'm saying? The toughest motherfuckers. Excuse my language. All y'all extra tough people. Y'all think y'all tough, y'all think y'all ain't got no emotion, y'all think y'all don't cry. Come to the market. Come to the market. Come to the market. We'll see how tough you really are. We'll see if you can really keep those emotions. They're going to be right on your goddamn sleeve. They're going to be right on your goddamn sleeve. And then you're going to have to learn how to control them. That's the name of the game. Then you got to learn how to control them. Once you learn what to do, your emotions going to be on your sleeve. And you're going to have to learn how to put them back in your goddamn chest where they belong so you can breathe easy. And then be able to execute. You know? But that's what the Mamba Mentality is all about, y'all. You know, it's being the best you can be. It's taking the steps, the necessary steps to be able to put all of the bullshit aside. Everything else that everybody think that they want, what they want you to do, and you focus on what you need to do to be successful. The discipline that it takes to be able to tell other people, no, out here in this world, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. You can do this. I'm telling y'all, you can do this. I made it so easy. You can do this. You see the red arrow, boom, hit the red sell button. You see the green arrow, boom, hit the green buy button. That simple. I made it so simple that a 5th grader can do it. And that's the thing about it. The younger people able to get it so much easier because they ain't really got nothing at stake. I gave the young people, boom, they like, oh, this all I gotta do. They like, wow, I can do this shit. I'm like, I'm sure you can. Why? Because they still staying with their mama. They ain't about to be staying with their mama no more. They ain't about to be staying with their mama no more. But guess what? They in it. They in it. They like, damn. And guess they still gonna have their emotions too. But what happens is for a lot of us older people is that we've been beaten down by life so much that we are subconsciously in the place of pain. And you got to get yourself out of that place of pain. Other than that, you go keep on trading it in the market because you're not going to have any calm. You're not going to have any peace. And you're not going to be able to get to the levels that you need to get to. And then you go fuck around and quit. The people who cannot handle the emotions of this, they quit before they even have a chance to become profitable. They quit before they even get a chance to make money. The emotions get the best of them, and they be right there knocking on the door of success, and they old self say, fuck that shit. I'd rather go think about all this other old shit that hurt me. Why you want to go think about shit that's hurting yourself? Then to face it, forgive yourself, forgive those around you, right? Forgive those who can't come with you on this journey, right? Envision yourself in a new light, that new body, that new you, and sit down and execute, right? Double down on your practice, double down on your study, you know, or as you go quit. Because that's the easiest thing that people love to do. People love to quit. People be like, I'll quit this job, I'll find another one. Fuck them. I'll quit. They be like, I'll quit this job. Oh shit, y'all funny. No, but really, people quit a lot of things. People quit a lot of things. And the thing about it is that when you quit trading, you quitting on yourself. You know? When you quit a job, you might think you quitting on that boss. But when you quit trading, you quitting on yourself. Because there's a whole nother new you inside of you that's ready to come out. That's why you came across trading. That's why you were intrigued by trading. That's what made you curiosity peak. It's because there's you inside of you that already wants to do this. It already sees a new you, a better you on the other side of this. It's already ready to blossom right on out of you. It's within your DNA. Abundance is your birthright. You know this. You know these things. But then the market come and then you think it get hard because it is a lot of technical work. It is a lot of, and I don't mean technical work in the sense of it being hard, but it's a few things that you gotta know. Right? It's a few things that you gotta know. This ain't just screwing a screw in a line at Ford, in a line at Chrysler, you know, and just, you know, putting the shit over here and checking it, doop. Putting the shit over here and checking it, boop. Putting the shit over here and checking it, boop. No, this ain't that. This ain't that. You may have to sit there and wait on your move for an hour and a half, 2 hours without making a trade. That motherfucking market get to doing like this on you, moving side to side. You get in that bitch, your ass go get ate up. Your ass go get ate up, and you go be wondering why you losing. You losing because you done went blind to what's going on in the market. Ask yourself why you traded that bullshit. It's something emotional that had you not even being able to see what was going on directly. It killed your patience. So you got to be able, patience is learned. You got to build it up. You build it up through meditation. You build it up through visualization, reprogramming that subconscious mind. The ego will eventually follow. Say mantras to yourself. Create your own mantras. You know? Nothing but positive things. You gotta geek yourself up because who the fuck else is gonna geek you up but you? I'm here to geek you up though. I'm telling you, you can do it. You can do this. I know y'all can do this. If I can do it, everybody else can do it. You can do it. It's a lot of people having way more success than you can imagine. You just gotta stop being afraid. Ain't no fear in the Mamba mentality. You gotta be willing to accept the challenge. Accept the challenge of being the greatest trader that you can be. Accept the challenge. Accept the challenge of being emotional responsible. You know? Accept the challenge of taking your life psychology to the next level. Because as I said, this is deeper than trading psychology. This is life psychology. Watch how much of a better person you become. Watch how much of a better person. You don't even realize how much of a better person it is on the other side. On the other side of where you at right now, there's so much of a better person on the other side of that. But you got to put in that work for yourself. Because I can't get in your subconscious mind for you and make you think what I want you to think. You got to know to think what you need to think for yourself to make yourself better. Nobody else can do it for you. Not your mama, not your auntie, not the kids, not a professor. Look, all we can do is give you the game. Every book is just designed to give you the game. I'm here to give you the game, speak to you maybe in a language and to a type of degree that maybe you could be able to understand. And then you could be like, damn, that's it, because everybody don't get it from listening to Bob Proctor. You know, everybody don't get it listening to Neville Goddard. You know, some of those books is a little bit too wordy for people. But let me give you the same information in a way that you can get it. That is really all about your emotional control. And you have to take steps to really get through the process of being the master of that. And that's what being a Titan is all about. Master of your emotions. Your emotions are energy in motion. That's why they call it a motion picture. Right? That's why they call it a movie, because it's moving the E, moving the energy. And the energy is what? The emotions. It's all written into the same language. You got to know what it is. You are the emotion. You are the energy. And you are every emotion. And you get to decide which level of vibration of whatever emotion you go be on. That's up to you. But it takes work to get to those higher levels. If you've been in despair and grief and anger and all of these other things for the past 15, 20 years, you damn sure right it's going to be a goddamn process to be able to reverse that. That's not going to happen overnight. But you got to continue to fill your cup up with positivity. Fill up your cup with positivity. You got to talk to yourself, and it's not nothing crazy about it, but you got to tell yourself good shit about yourself. You got to tell yourself good shit about yourself. Even if you blow an account, keep telling yourself that good shit about yourself. You got to keep going. Out here in this world, tell yourself, shit, I'm the best driver, right? Tell yourself little shit like that. Tell yourself little things. Shit, don't nobody tie their shoe better than me. Shit. Don't nobody make chicken better than me. I'm the best. I'm the best at making chicken. I'm the best. It don't matter whatever bullshit you can say you the best at. Say you the best at it. Fuck all that modest shit. Start standing on shit you good at. So that subconsciously you can start knowing that you good at shit. And then once you start flipping that dynamic that you are good at other things, it'll start transferring into your trading. But if you out here in the world talking about all the things that you ain't good at, then guess what's going to happen when you come to trade? You ain't going to be good at that shit either. Pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you right now. This is how you become a better trader. You got to change the language of how you talk to yourself. Got to tell yourself all types of cool shit. Got to tell yourself positive shit every single day. And I don't care if everybody else in the world done told you something negative about you. You can't stand on nothing that somebody else negative said about you. You got to stand on the positive. And this is a part of the practice. This is a part of that Mamba mentality. You know? You think Kobe was running around the league saying that other people better than him? That's why y'all got him in the GOAT debate right now. And a big part of that is because of the mentality. People will say, oh yeah, shit, LeBron ain't got the clutch gene or whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. What I'm telling y'all is you could be as great as any of them on your scale in this day trading game. All you gotta do is calm your emotions down. Practice, practice, practice. Mamba mentality. These is the type of trading psychology workshops I've got going on as far as within the classes as well. So I've helped all my students, able to see this one and the plenty more that we go continue to have on this new platform that we setting up. This is Team Tighten Up. I am Fontaine the Titan, king of account setups, master of trading psychology. Giving you the Tighten Up MACD arrow system. Buy when the green arrow prints, sell when the red arrow prints. Boop. Easy as that, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, at the end of the motherfucking rainbow, it is a pot of gold. It is a pot of gold, y'all. You got to be able to use your imagination. You got to be able to see yourself as a winner. You got to be able to see yourself as a consistently profitable trader. You got to be able to see yourself with no worries and walk around tall without no worry in your mind. Fuck what everybody else got going on. Put in that work, put in that practice, sacrifice, get that practice time together so that you could be able to start recognizing it in your subconscious mind, be able for it to start sinking in exactly what you sat down and came to do every single day. You got to put in that work. Mamba mentality. So if anybody want to holler at me, links is in the description. This is Team Tighten Up. And everybody, thank you for your time on this beautiful journey to being great, profitable traders. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.